Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome to Sikh Channel Community Talks. I'm very pleased to be joined by Captain Jaikar Singh Sohal, Master Marina. Jaikar is a senior lecturer, also is a captain of oil tankers, a researcher, a marine consultant, an author, and a shipping expert, particularly with autonomous shipping, maritime law, and international trade. So, Jaikar Singh Sohal, welcome to Sikh Channel. Thank you very much for joining us.
Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Thank you very much for allowing me to come here. Thank you.
Thank you. Jaikar ji, can you please tell us what is a maritime marina? Can you tell us a little bit about your title? What does it mean? How do you become a maritime marina?
Okay, the maritime is a very big field. It's about all about ships and basically the marine environment, and which all the trade and everything happens. And when we say mariner is basically somebody who works on the ship. So I started my career way back in 1996. Joined as a trainee first, and then grew up in the ranks to finally ended up being a captain of oil tankers, one of the biggest oil tankers which are moving on in the ocean. And I did about 19 years at sea before taking a basically break from there and coming to teaching. And now, for last than 6.5 years, I'm teaching in maritime universities.
That's tremendous. So you spent many years at sea, literally. That was quite an experience. Can you tell us any interesting stories or when you were caught between a whale or in a big storm during those 19 years? You must have had lots of adventures.
Yeah, so that seafaring, or what we call as a maritime career, is all about adventures and it's all about challenges. It's way different than any office job because every day is different. And yes, over a span of 19 years being at sea, I've seen many different colors of the sea, whether it's glassy as a glass, it's as calm as a glass, and or it can be as bad as like what we see in the movies. So I can proudly say that I have seen most of the different shapes of the seas. And of course we are being trained to kind of maneuver in those kind of conditions. So I have seen where, like, basically I at one stage have to slow down my ship because there was a chance of my ship breaking into two parts because of the very high swells which are there in the Atlantic sometime during the winter seasons. So this job is all about making those difficult decisions at in a very short span of time, making critical kind of like decision making. um, it's very different kind of a job. So yes, I have seen a lot of them, lot of tropical revolving storms, frontal depressions, especially in the northern Atlantics.
Any pirates? Did you ever come across pirates?
Yes, so I've been trading quite a because being an oil tanker, we have been loading basically from Persian Gulf and then bringing the oil to Rotterdam or to USA. Or so sometimes when I was working not on a VLCCs. VLCCs are like very large crude carriers. They're very like they're like elephants of the sea. But before that, I was working on little smaller vessels, like about we call them at Suez Max. So we that time we used to pass through Suez Canal. So we used to pass through Gulf of Aden, Red Sea, which is a high piracy area. And we used to take military convoys, the naval convoys, which were there run by different navies. So we used to pass Red Sea and Gulf of Aden using them. And pirates, yes, I had experience with pirates myself as a captain, where we were having some security guards on board, hired by my company. And there was an incident where the pirates approached my vessel, and despite giving warning sound horns, they continued to approach. And then the security guards, they were deployed, they were firing across their bows just to warn them. And it came to a stage where they attempted to board the ship, and at that time the security guards, basically they cannot shoot a person unless the captain tells them to do so. So they were asking me, "Captain, give us a permission to shoot, give us a permission to shoot, because they were attempting to kind of put the ladder on my side of the ship. And it's a difficult decision to kill someone, and fortunately, before I could, I had to give a decision, uh, because of the force exerted by the ship's hull. Their boat moved away, and then they could never catch us after that. Fortunately, I never had to give that decision, otherwise that would have been one kind of a memory, I never wanted to have.
That's tremendous. Thank you very much for sharing that with us. And why did you choose this career? Because it's a little bit of an unusual career in the Sikh community. The Sikhs are very successful in lots of different areas of professions and business, but your career is quite unusual. How did you come to this?
Yes, interesting question. Actually, I come from a defense background. My father was in Air Force. I wanted to be a Air Force pilot, fighter pilot. Then, because I attempted to go through that examination, I passed the exam, but at the interview stage, at the last minute, I couldn't go through. So then I had to join engineering, which again I was not enjoying so much. Fortunately, then came a opportunity to join this line, which I found was like is something which I wanted to do, something very active, something which is kind of like challenging me, rather than a desktop type kind of job. So I went for it, and I never regretted back. Definitely, we don't have so many uh, like people coming from basically Punjab or from Sikh community. Uh, there are many of them, but not like to the same communities which are there. And definitely, it was a rewarding career so far.
And it must have been quite difficult with family as well, with a family life, because being at sea for many years is very difficult. How did you cope with that?
Yeah, it's a very big challenge, both for as a person as well as for your family. Uh, my Fortunately, I had a very understanding parents. They were, because they themselves were from a very active life, like of an Air Force, so they knew that they used to say the boy has to go out to earn. And then later on, I'm quite fortunate that I have a wonderful wife. She is very she understand my job very well, and she knew the challenges, before she said yes to me for marriage. And she had always been a great support. It's difficult. When I was a junior officer, our contract was long. I used to do about 6 months at sea, then coming home for 4 months, and then going back again. But as I grew into senior ranks, and then I also had an extension to my family, I could come down to about 4 months contracts. Things became little better, and I had seen time when there was no internet on board. And of course, there was the telephones were very expensive. We used to have something around $3 per minute was a charge, very unaffordable kind of thing. And we used to wait for months to kind of make a call, or writing letter was an option. And then uh, towards the later part of my career, the things became much better, having internet, and then we were more connected. Things become easier for families. But it's definitely a challenging kind of a career for any family, basically to live without the husband for a long time, taking care of small kids. It was a challenge, and thankfully, I'm blessed to have a partner who understands that.
And now you are very much on dry land and in a teaching role. Can you tell us about that? Are you enjoying teaching and lecturing, and why did you take on this new position?
Well, coming to teaching, it happened by accident. I used to enjoy, just doing mentoring and training of my crew members on ship as a captain, as a, especially in the senior ranks. But in 2016, I had a car accident while on leave, and doctor said that for about a year or so you cannot go back to sea. And fortunately, at that time, my friend who was working with University of Trinidad and Tobago, he told me about an opportunity which came there, and I joined there, considering my condition. So I, in fact, first day when I went to join there, I was on crutches, and well. But once I came to the teaching side, I really started enjoying it. Started because I could make a difference to the people's life. That is something which I really enjoyed. I saw it more as a service and started enjoying there. And after finishing my contract there for 3 years, I had an opportunity to come to Southampton working for Washaw's Maritime School, which is a pioneer in maritime education, one of the oldest schools and very prestigious. So I had an opportunity to come and work here in the simulation center, and I'm really enjoying. It's a really wonderful option for me apart from sailing.
That's tremendous. Thank you very much. So this has become very much part of your life, and it's almost by accident a little bit that you got into this career. It wasn't you didn't choose it; it sort of chose you. And during that journey, how did your Sikh identity and your Sikh faith, how did that help you throughout these many years at sea and in your career?
Well, it has helped me in a very big way, and fortunately, I had a parents who had who inculcated those kind of like values inside me that I always saw Sikhism as a very strong kind of like a power behind me, and my personality. And I was among like the five or six, cadets when we joined in shipping, all having basically I'm talking of Sikh cadets out of 147 cohort size. So we were blessed five or six students, and uh, our identity has influenced in a very big way. Like people have always taken us seriously because of our personality. I didn't have to tell anyone that about my honesty, about my hard work, because they knew me by the minute they saw me. They say that, oh, he's a Sikh, he's going to be hardworking, he's going to be honest, I can believe in him, I can trust him. So I always had that thing. And then moving up the ranks, always got the respect from my seniors. Again, some part of that I would give to my identity, some part of course is to give my work ethics. But ethics again comes from, I believe, from my Sikh identity, from my belief, from the Gurbani, which kind of like give that power, give that kind of knowledge, to stay humble and to keep working hard, and do not kind of like bend in front of any kind of like stressful situations. And so it has helped me as a team. I got, I would say, like blessing of my seniors who were with me. Again, it was all about, they used to say that, oh, you are a Sikh, I don't have to worry because you are on board my ship. And I remember one of my captain telling me that if you have a Singh on board, then you don't have to worry about anything. So God is with him. So uh, there was a period of time when I used to have a trim beard, but then when really saw the God kind of like really being there on many moments, I felt that that Vaheguru is there, and that has made me change myself from 2004 onward. Fortunately, I have been Sabat Surat, and it's all this identity is pushing me even here as well.
That's tremendous. Thank you very much. And we at Seek Channel and all Seek community are very proud of you and proud of everything you've achieved. And you're a good role model for Sikhs across the world and for all communities doing such an excellent job and also doing it very honestly and diligently. But there's a lot of change coming in the world, and AI is the latest thing. Do you think you will be replaced by a robot in the near future? Is it all going to become automated? There'll be no need for marinas anymore.
Well, about if you would have asked me this question 10 years back, I would have said, oh, no, it's not possible at all. But as I stand today, I'm a researcher. I work in this field. I am a coordinator for Warshaw's Mass Research Center, which is all about autonomous shipping. I do write about it, things like that. So now my understanding has changed a lot with the way the pace the things are happening. I would say that there is going to be a time when we're going to see, definitely going to see autonomous ships in our waters. But if you ask me that is it going to replace the ships altogether, the conventional ships, then the answer is no. As of now, maritime is basis of shortage of basically skilled officers. So I would say that we are looking at autonomous shipping, trying to fill in those gaps, and so careers are not going to end, the seafaring career, but definitely, excuse me, the job is going to change. the profile is going to change. They need to have new technical skills. They need to be more artificial intelligence, the digitalization, cybersecurity. These kind of skills will also need to be kind of like learned along with the nautical education. So curriculum's going to change, the training pattern's going to change, but we'll be seeing both kind of shifts to stay here for, say, at least for another 100 years or so.
It's tremendous. Thank you very much. Jaikar, Singh Sohal, Maritime, Marina, thank you for joining Sikh Channel Community Talks and sharing your life experience and your very unusual career. We wish you well going forwards with your research now. You're not so much involved in shipping and captaining ships across the world, but still involved in the future of shipping. What's your final message to particularly younger people in the community who might be coming through in different careers or considering a career in the maritime industry? What's your final message?
Well, I would like to give two messages here. First is very specific to maritime in the sense that this is a really wonderful career, and people who, or the young boys and girls who like to kind of have adventure in their life, like to challenge themselves. This is a career for you, and we don't have so many Sikhs into this line, but I can proudly say that this is one of the best career I have seen in my life. So when I see all around. So I would definitely encourage young boys, especially Sikh boys and girls, to kind of take this career. Second message I would like to give is with respect to the young boys, with respect to Sikhism, that be proud of your identity because you don't know what you have, and with time you will come to know what our elders have gained and gave to us. All the sacrifices, they had a meaning, and this identity is very, 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 very important, and it makes you a separate from the crowd. It gives you a kind of an identity which is so powerful, you will only come understand with time. And fortunately, my both boys are I have two boys, both of them, they wear turban, and they are very much fortunate so far. They have listened to me and they agree to this, and I would also suggest other boys and girls around to kind of be proud of themselves as Sikhs.
Tremendous. Thank you very much, Jaikar. And also a very lovely first name. Can we finally ask you who named you Jaikar?
Thank you very much. Actually, it happened by accident again. My name was Jai Singh when I was born, and out of joke, my maternal uncle said he just bought a new car. That time, car was a kind of a very expensive thing. I'm talking of in 70s. So he said that why don't we add our car to his Jai and make it Jaikar? And Jaikar is a name, is a word which comes in Gurbani many times, Jai Jaikar, and also. And my grandmother was quite religious, my mother was also, and so they all kind of like it. My eldest uncle on the father's side, he was now he's a retired, he was a manager at Darbar Sahib, and he blessed this as well. So I fortunately got this name, very unique name.
That's tremendous. And it also shows the importance of influence of parents, a lot of your success to your parents and upbringing. And you've been very lucky and fortunate that your parents have invested in you and given you the right choices, the right learning, and the right path. So we also want to pay tribute and thank you. Thank your parents for who you are today. Thank you very much.
Definitely, I agree to that. That parents make a very big difference, and that is where somewhere I find like as a Sikh community we are lacking now. We are not a role model for our kids, and if we can be a role model for our kids, they will definitely be sticking to their identity, and they'll be proud one day.
That's tremendous. Jaikar Singh Sohal, Saab, thank you very much for joining Sikh Channel. And we hope to speak to you again sometime in the future. And perhaps you can update us on your progress with your career. And we would like to perhaps join you at some stage in one of your ships in the future if you're going out at sea only for a short trip. We'd like to join you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, sure. I would like to take this opportunity to welcome you as well as anyone else. So we have one of the world's best simulation center here, And anyone visiting Southampton, you can give me a call. We can arrange a special visit for you. We also have a lake here where we have a scaled band models, which is unique again in the world, and where we train the people sitting in those models at lake. So please do let me know, and I would be more than happy to kind of arrange for a visit for anyone.
It's very kind. We'll surely take you up on that. Southampton's not so far for us from Birmingham. We'll come and join you. Thank you, Jaikar Singh. Thank you very much for joining Sikh Channel.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
वाहिगुरु जी की